Okay, so when we're looking at monitoring and measurement of the 5S implementation, basically what we're looking for is the difference between the before and after. That's the actual impact that we will see. Are we achieving the 5S objectives? What kind of feedback are we getting from interested parties? From in-customer satisfaction surveys, for example, quarterly reports from senior management, internal audits, coordination meetings at the different sites, or project correspondence complaints, or hopefully never legal prosecutions. But these are all things that may be related. It may be related to health and safety incidents, accidents, where we can start to see the benefit. And the important thing, we've talked a lot over the course of today's presentation about visual management, visual performance. If we carry out those regular internal 5S assessments, they're not intended to punish anybody. They're intended to give a clear picture of where we are, where progress is being made, where it's not being made, and how we can correct the course of action. We can take corrections by cleaning up things that have somehow missed out or started to get dirty or messy again. But also we need to take the corrective action. In other words, ask the question, why? Why have things gone wrong? What are the causes? And take actions to avoid those from happening again. And we can have management reviews, looking at the 5S policy, is it still appropriate, the objective, the activity plan, to look at the possibilities for continual improvement and suitability. And so maybe one good way to do that, I personally like very much the idea of the radar charts or the spider charts, which helps us to see where the strong points are and where the weak points may be within our implementation. Because all of this, as we mentioned at the beginning, 5S system is an important starting point for implementing a quality management system, health and safety management system, lean manufacturing, driving out waste, driving out non-value added activities, like having to look for a tool or like having to try to find where the latest procedures are, and so on. 5S helps all of those things. So the concepts underlying lean thinking, value, do specific add values add value? Specific activities, do they add value, or do they just add cost? What about the value stream? How activities are linked together? Where value is added and where waste is created? What about the flow? Eliminating interruptions and increasing better direct linkages to the next activity. Within the idea of quality management and total quality, the next activity is the internal customer. We need to make sure that we understand what our internal customer within the organization wants and that we can continually provide that. And let that customer determine needs, what they need and when they need it, and finally move towards continual improvement. So you know what? Yes, you can do all of this. None of this is complicated. None of this is rocket science. It's all hopefully very understandable. It's very clear. The difficult part is actually rolling up your sleeves and doing it. So with that, let me pass back to Shaukat to wrap up and make some final comments. You need to unmute, Shaukat.
Yeah, thank you, Nigel. And basically, 5S is so wonderful thing you have now observed during these 2 modules. And with this implementation strategy and with this just an overlook about implementation, that it definitely provides the basically foundation for implementing the other quality tools on it. In the beginning, Dr. Nigel has explained you that you cannot move towards ISO 9001 if you have not implemented 5S or some of the 5S S's in good way. Along the way, when we have discussed 5S is basically a war towards waste. You have observed that what we were doing into the 1S, it is just sorting out the useful and non-useful items. Non-useful items definitely are the waste. They basically not only capture your entire space, but your time as well. So it is a wasting of time when your things are not properly organized. It is a wasting of cost when your things have been piled up in the production line, and you cannot move things along the assembly line, and you are wasting so much time. Indirectly, you are wasting the cost. You have piled up non-necessary things. It is increasing your inventory, and sometimes when we observe in different factories and different organizations, it destroys your useful inventory as well. 5S is a war on the basically wasted processing, wasted production. 5S basically is a tool not only to implement ISO 9001, but all the tools of the lean. Just one slide before Dr. Nigel explained you that what is lean. Lean is basically is to improve the productivity, is to improve the quality. So 5S is basically supporting you directly or indirectly in some cases to improve the productivity, to improve the quality, and to basically reduce the waste. Waste is a cost. Either it is a term of time, either it is a term of processing, or it is a term of production, but definitely it is a cost. In Japanese way, waste is called muda. So you have to basically eliminate or reduce the waste by implementing 5S in a proper way. And 5S implementation approach or the strategy is PDCA. Dr. Nigel has explained you that PDCA is basically key when you are implementing the 5S. You have along the way, then you cannot move towards 5S if you don't empower your entire staff, starting from CEO up to the worker level. You have to basically enhance them, give them training, how to implement this 5S. You have to encourage them, provide some incentives, develop some competition, develop some 5S awards. You have to engage all the employees starting from top up to bottom. As Dr. Nigel explained that it is not basically tool for the one employee. It is engagement of all the staff from top up to the bottom in 360-degree way. Either he is CEO, he is middle management, low management, everybody has to work on the 5S together. Then you can implement 5S in a way where you can save your wasted time, you can save your wasted cost, you can save your wasted inventory, wasted processing, and the wasted production time. And all this would basically contribute towards the production and the quality of the organization. We are hopeful that along the way, when we will be discussing in the question answer session, if you would have some specific question, then you can send us early so that we may engage in the question answer session. If Dr. Nigel would have time, we would love to engage him so that he may interact with the participants, and then he may provide some of the specific answers based on his entire work experience in this way in the life of quality. Thank you very much. And these are our basically Twitter account. These are our social accounts. You can basically keep visiting our social accounts, keep visiting our Twitter and Facebook. And along the way, you have basically our emails.